Welcome everybody, just making sure everything is up and running for the first stream tonight. Yo Claps Wave, yo Jeffro, appreciate y'all stopping by. Making sure everything is up and running. Yo Trace, yo Phoenix. How's everybody doing on this haunted Sunday? Gonna be the first probably 2 streams tonight. Myself, Kelly G and Scataway Killers are going live at about 11 o'clock, which is another 5 hours away from now. We're gonna hopefully have some fun in that. Appreciate you sharing my advice, much love.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
This is where I got stuck the last day. It should go.
Maybe it's time to see if this working nearby.
I will return later.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. See, it's this what I don't get. Maybe it's me doing it wrong. Yeah, he goes over here. It says I have to do the sense there. See the way it just comes up and doesn't come up at times?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
Yeah,
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St.
Yeah,
Mary's
there's a lot
Church.
talking in it.
I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I cannot enter. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
We distribute flowers this hour of night.
Looking for a boy. Yeah, there's a lot of talking in this game, and you may as well say the story.
Cheap price, good
I
quality.
kind of like that at times.
Hey, come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Bunch of posters here. This is the-
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Yo, dude, you got a ton of stuff, man. Yeah, the game is pretty good. I got one coin left. Damn, son.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Yo, Callie, on fire. Appreciate you stopping by.
Right then. Show me what you have.
I see opium like there.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down, sir.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
The name is Colossus Joe. I don't get sick.
Goodbye,
Okay,
Mr.
Colossus.
Peterson. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Yeah, he seems to be Dodge or something, didn't he?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so
See you
devoted.
later, Kelly. Appreciate you
I
stopping
sent him to preach the good word
Carry
in the
on,
heart
fire.
of this corrupted city.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, have a
Well,
listen.
I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Oh, fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Yeah, the dialogue is pretty good. It gets you more and more into the story. It's really good. I don't know if they're going more the way the 19th century was there in the 19th century.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are
And
entangled
apparently
in a
there's
world
a
of
few different
causes
endings
and
to it. It's not
consequences.
just the one ending.
And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you
Appreciate
must be
everybody's
aware
chat.
of the
What to know.
decimating epidemic.
Let's
But
go.
let me tell
man.
you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
With that bullshit. Is it the other end of it? Is it? Come on, bring it, son. Get some. No, yeah. Sometimes they leave stuff, but other times they don't. And over here, it's just a poster. Basically what I'm doing now, same we're in lockdown, to prevent any case of Spanish flu, stay at home. Aye, you know yourself. Let's go away.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr.
Hey,
Reed.
Jen, how are you?
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my
You should
guest.
stop by this
Although
train
I
line.
may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Why is it?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
That's
Darius
the same
Petrescu.
one, man.
Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require
Jen, hope you're having a
mediocre
good day.
writing
You
skills.
should stop by this train. Right, Dorothy.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Yeah, see.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I will see you later. Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Go back again. Look for
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet
Godzilla,
walk.
what is up?
Though
Appreciate you
night
stopping by.
talks are
Happy
always
Sunday to
preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Hopefully you're having a good day.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Music in the background.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course,
Yeah, I'm
the
doing
death
good,
of so
Arthur.
many innocents
Hope you
is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Okay. See that.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
So we're looking for Clayton Derby.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan
Appreciate
Reed.
the art, Stella.
Dr.
Much
Reed,
love.
the famous surgeon.
Thank you.
I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel.
It's actually great.
What do you know
tonight.
about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary
Stormy
of
and
strangers,
rainy
and
as
I'm
hell.
not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by.
Appreciate you.
Darius would
Appreciate
never let
everybody
him
in
in.
chat.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Personal question. Motor tracker.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his
Here,
colleagues
basically
would dare to go, to inform the country.
Can you hear that? It's
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
oh yeah, leech dead. Yeah, see the way it's like hit there.
I still have questions about that Darius fellow.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel,
Oh,
talking to
seriously,
himself or
Stormy,
declaring
outside.
verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Let's go back here. of blood. Yeah, looks like straight back down to him again, is it? I appreciate everybody in the stream. Stormy as hell. Let's set those candles.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
Yeah, he's funny, alright.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Yeah, I don't think it's him. See the way it makes a lot of things in this game very, very shiny. You have to pick up some.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. Very well. Goodbye then.
Find the mailbox. See the way
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. evil ass London.
I'm cheap and I'm clean.
Cheap and I'm clean. Damn, bro.
Just look the other way this
I keep always doing that. Go backwards.
we go. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are.
Mr. Doctor.
You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Very easily convinced there, like the old Jedi vampire mind trick. Are you gonna let me see Dorothea? Cheap bottle of gin, man? Is that all you got in here, man? Oh, a safe? Can I get into that?
It's locked.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Hey, is it Victoros? TV? Appreciate you stopping by the stream.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
Might as well.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Goodbye, bro. It's the right door, isn't it? Yeah. Could have robbed all her drugs away. She doesn't need them because she's running an illegal practice. Well, I am the doctor. I'm only messing. Doing good deed for people.
Can you hear my voice?
Is she upstairs? She is.
I need help.
What do we have, Gus?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days.
Yo,
Complaints of
these legs in the
dizziness,
building.
muscle
What is
aches, and
happening,
head
bro?
pain.
Appreciate
Diagnosed with
you stopping by, man.
influenza.
Much love.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but
Oh,
he's
you
having
today.
trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Sculp! Hand me that sculp!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. Yes. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
What?
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
You're a butcher, sir. A sick and heartless butcher.
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. So what do I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
The risks you've taken for your friends in Whitechapel are criminal, and you can pay dearly for them.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Spare, I look away. But you reason. What?
Nurse Crane, there is no question that the work you've done here is extraordinary, but this dispensary is incapable of coping with the outbreak. It's only a question of days before the situation at hand will overwhelm us. I cannot allow it. It's my duty to put an end to this immediately.
I'm not ashamed. I did what was right. For in the end, I saved lives and you took them. But we had so much in common, Doctor. Don't you see that?
Kent failed? What? Alright, well, she's dead now.
This one stinks already. Over there! This one of them vermin! Murdering bastard!
We need to get out of here.
Perhaps I should look into it.
Yeah, I do have to go that way across the bridge.
We distribute flowers at this hour.
Slashing them up for surety threats, man.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Hey.
Is that the hideout?
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Oh, it's up the gate, it's up the gate. Yo, Kelly Vargas, appreciate you stopping by the stream. How are you today? Cross the bridge. Let's go. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Much love to each and every one of you. Caught in this haunted Sunday.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy!
Damn. Oh no. They're all. See, and not one of them drop anything at all. Access to bounce off there. Don't see nothing there. Yeah, we're going the right way up here. Oh no. There's nothing in here. So let's grow, folks. I'm the Puff Man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Much love. How are you today? See what I can do here. I haven't used the gun once, believe it or not. see milady. Dio, Marculate Dio, appreciate you stopping by. Looks like she's upstairs. No, downstairs. I was thinking she would tell me he's upstairs. Again.
It's locked.
Lady Ashbourne, Dr. Swansea.
It's locked, all right.
Is she in there? That's where it came out of. She's not in there. You know what? Let's rest up. Let's see what's happening. Appreciate everybody in the stream. What's love? There's gonna be a lot of unlocking in this. 1300. Go for this. That looks cool. The speed. Shadow mouse. Place the glass shadow target. To your feet across. Heavy damage. Body's all been up. Blood, increase your blood. So, started sign back. What else? Ultimate. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Yeah, I see some cool abilities. Just confirm this. folks, I'm going to end the stream here. Appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. And don't forget, in about another 4 hours, myself, Callie G, and Scataway Killers will be streaming World War II Zombies for a bit of fun. So hopefully you'll all stop by. So until next time, it is your boy Cooligan signing off. So be safe, everybody. Until next time.